Mire.
Okay, can everybody hear me? You guys hear me? Okay. We'll get started in just a few minutes, right at 8:30.
Everyone always the room. I love the Beatles. So I would take the man seriously as a serious person that loves the Beatles. We love the Beatles.
Okay, it's super quiet. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, just making sure.
and enrich it and enrich it. So finally you force so many electrons onto the U-235, it goes from U-235 to U-237, U-238, and then once it gets to a certain point, it jumps from being U-238 to being.
Let's see. I'm gonna go.
So it's a man-made chemical. You know that one.
Here we go. Okay. Okay. So if you want to, if throughout this meeting, if you guys want to chat or just did the little chat feature down at the bottom if you have something to say, or unmute yourself if you want to speak. But I'm going to give everybody probably one more minute to come on, and then we will get started. Okay, it is 8:30, so we will go ahead and get started. My name is Brooke Smith. I'm an Emerald Ambassador, and I am here tonight to talk to you about a very important topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is creating and maintaining a successful team page. I kind of feel like that's a lot of jam-packed information at once, so I'm going to try to break it down on the different levels that we have. The creating, obviously, that's going to be for newer people that are looking to kind of get that started, get the ball rolling for your team page. And then maintaining, that's for you guys that have had ambassadors for a couple months, and not only do you want to have a team page, but you want to have a successful team page. And, that is one that, your team feels comfortable, they're interacting, and you are able to get information out to them successfully. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. I'll have a little bit of just a slideshow. Let's see, hold on. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, so again, my name is Brooke Smith, and I'll be obviously your host tonight. Okay, so for creating your team page, so the first thing that I want to get out to you is, and this is really, really important to me, if you have one ambassador, if you have 2 ambassadors, 3 ambassadors, it's time for you to set up a team page. I can remember when I began, I started, April was a year ago, and I had a couple of ambassadors. Everything was good. I was on a message thread with many of my ambassadors, all 3 of them separately, and they would ask me questions, and I would answer them. And I would answer a question here, a question there, and this question again. And then 2 days later, someone else would ask the same question, and I just thought to myself, I am just answering these questions all at once. Why not come together to make a team page? And that is when, I thought, let's do this. Let's make a team page. And I had great examples above me. I had Rebecca, my upline. I had Julia, Ellen, Andrea, Angie. So I had good examples to go by. But it's kind of different when you're trying to do this by yourself and you're trying to navigate by yourself. So when is the right time to make a team page? And like I just said, the perfect time is when you have 1, 2, 3 ambassadors. Everybody thinks, oh, I've got to have, 10 ambassadors to make a team page. That's not true. When you're ready to get the word out to your ambassadors and you don't want to have to answer a question a million times, that is the right time. And I always say to, myself, this is kind of my motto for my team page. It's, if I know it, my team should know it. My downline should know this. And isn't that a beautiful thing that we have going on with with our network marketing with Plexus, is that we don't have to keep anything that we know to ourselves. We can put it out there for our team to kind of use as well. So when I kind of had that mentality, it was, all right, well, something pops in my brain. I'm going to go straight to my team page and I'm going to put it down. For example, if one of my 3 ambassadors that I had at the time, hey, tell me about the the percentage for the compensation plan. When do I get 25 versus when do I get 15? And so instead of answering that for all 3 of those ambassadors at 3 different times, I went straight to my team page and I said, okay, guys, let's talk about the compensation plan. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So let's talk about a team name. Your team name is very important, and this is kind of a time where you can kind of show a little bit of your personality, kind of separate yourself from other team names out there. As you can see on the slideshow, mine is the Pink Tribe, and I'll talk about mine more in just a little bit because I'm actually a little different than a lot of people. I actually share a team page with my upline, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But our team page name is the Pink Tribe. We just felt like when we merged team pages, we are one big tribe that is in this together, and it was just kind of perfect for us. So your team name, one thing that I want to say about your team name is that you somehow want to include your name in there. And I know mine says Pink Tribe, and it does not have my name on there, but it helps your uplines if yours does have your name in there, so they can kind of quickly go through and find yours. But anything you want as your name works. Again, make that kind of unique to yourself. Okay, what information? Oh, last thing on the name, make it gender neutral. I know I didn't have my first ambassador until probably August or September, and I'm glad that I thought about it. I named mine when I first started Pink Drink, Babes, and Bows, but it was just Pink Drink Babes at the beginning. And then when I added my first ambassador, I'm like, got to make this gender neutral here. So that's where I added the bows in. So just make sure you make it gender neutral. Okay, what information do you start with early? Again, education. Make sure that if you know something, that you put it down on your team page. And again, you're going to hear me say that a million times. But if you see your upline post something about the compensation plan and you say to yourself, oh, well, I wonder if my team knows that, put it on your team page. If you think of something, just anything that pops in your brain that you might have to answer a question. If one of your teammates message you and ask you a question that you're like, I'm not sure about that, let me find out the answer. And you find out the answer, as soon as you get the answer, transfer that to your team page. But definitely go with the motto of if you know it, they know it. That is super, super important for you to remember. Okay, so you want to go ahead and use the first part, the first few days, first few weeks of having a team page now that you're kind of in and you're navigating through. You want to use it just for kind of, like I said, education, and go ahead and upload some files. This slide right here shows you that you can go to the info part of your page and you can click on files. You might have to have a Dropbox or a Google Drive or something like that, but go ahead and add some files to your team page. Whatever files your upline have that you like or that you have accessed quite a few times, that would be a good one to start with. That way, you're not trying to build this huge set of files at one time. It's early. There's not a lot of action going on your team page. There's not a lot of, comments or anything like that. And so that's a perfect time for you to slowly build your base of files. So go ahead and start doing that. I think that's a really good idea. Again, and that is going to be steady. That is going to be there for you throughout. Those files will never leave you. And like I said, you'll kind of build like a library of those. Okay, so here's something big that I want to talk to you all about that is just now starting out your team pages. But help, no one is commenting. Y'all, I get this all the time. You start this team page, everything's great, you're putting out information, but no one comments, no one likes, and you don't feel like that anyone is even looking or even, logging on or anything with your team page. Let me assure you that they are looking. They see your information. You don't know it because they may not be comfortable enough yet to comment or to like, but they're seeing it. So the big thing that I want to tell you about that is don't stop. Don't let that stop you. I'm telling you, it happens to everybody. I know you all are used to the bigger team pages to where you see all these likes and all these comments and all these posts and everything, and you're like, well, I must be doing something wrong. Guys, it happens to everybody. So fight through that, and just go ahead while it's quiet. Like I was saying, upload your files, put education out there, put training information out there, and you'll slowly see the buildup of activity on that team page. Okay, who do I add to my team page? Okay, I need everybody to hear this right now. Add every ambassador, whether they are selling or not. Wholesale ambassadors as well as business ambassadors all need to be added. Y'all, you never know who the information is just going to, strike a chord with, or the products are going to be so amazing for somebody that, I've got to share these products. So if they, if they're just signing on as a wholesale ambassador and they have all this, information from your team page, then they're equipped and they're ready to go. I don't want to bother people. I don't want to do this. Well, I'm going to tell you, if they don't want to see the information on your team page, they won't go on there, and that's fine. But give them access to it to be able to learn, to be able to, kind of grow in their knowledge so they could possibly make their informed decision. And that's what this third little picture right here shows. I wanted to remind my team, guys, start adding everyone. Because we did have some people that were, signing on as wholesale ambassadors and they were not being added. And so I just wanted to draw attention to my team page and let everybody know, hey, you need to be adding everyone. Also, I think it's important for you to add your immediate upline to your team page just to allow them to kind of check in on you. They're not staring over your shoulder by no means, but they can help direct you. It's just an easier conversation when your team, your upline says, or you go to them and say, hey, I need a little bit of help on my team page. I need a little bit of encouragement. And if they've already been on it, then they're familiar with your style and they know what's going on where they can help you a little bit better. So always add your media upline and kind of let them help you through that for sure. Okay, so that was on creating your team page. So once you've kind of created everything, you're kind of ready to dig in and really maintain this team page that honestly you're going to keep throughout your business. So you want to make sure that, what you put out there, not only educates, but it also keeps them active and keeps them involved. Okay, so within maintaining your team page, there's a couple of topics that I want to talk to you guys about. The first one is I want you to post at least once a day. And y'all, this does not have to be something to where you have to, go out and find, or research information. It can just be something very motivational. If you can see this graphic right here, it says, don't dig up and doubt what you planted in faith. I absolutely love that. And that's something that would be your post for the day. That's your motivation for them. But they need to see you active on that team page. Your consistent posting shows them, hey guys, I'm invested in you. This is how I'm invested in you with this team page. This is how I want to show you that I believe in you and, I want to help build your business. So if you're posting once a day, you're going to get that point across to them. And that's really, really big. Okay, so the second thing that I want to talk to you about that's really important are praise and accolades. Guys, we have to build up our team through our team pages. Any type of shout outs, whether it's personal volume shout outs, rank ups or, adding an ambassador, anything like that. Whether you want to shout out someone consistently posting for a week, whatever you want to do, we want to make sure that we give them praise. I absolutely love this quote right here. It says, a person who feels appreciated will always do more than is expected. And so that's kind of our goal, is to make our team feel appreciated for what they are doing. Because as we all know, this business, it's not the easiest thing in the world. There can be times where we get down, but we want our team page to be our positive environment where they can come and feel that, feel themselves kind of raising up through our team page. So make sure you are, praising them for sure. Positive reinforcement for sure. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk to you about are videos. There's some people that are scared to death of videos. Some people love videos. I love videos myself. But videos are huge for your team page, guys. Your team needs to see you. They need to see you. They need to, hear your voice, see your enthusiasm. And don't ever go into a video with negativity. If you are going to make a video on your team page, make sure it is very positive, make sure it is very upbeat, because your team needs to see that. I would say that once a week, you need to be present on your team page. Y'all, I don't know if you've all noticed this, but about a month ago, Facebook started live for your team pages. Guys, this is so huge. Rebecca and I, which is my Emerald upline, we go live probably, 2 times a week for our team. And it's, a lot of people that are afraid of Zoom, they will use this live feature because they know they're not going to be on camera. They know we're not going to ask them anything. They know that they can just tune in, watch, and they can comment with their questions. And that is so big. Our team absolutely loves that feature is going live. So if you don't like videos, per se, if you don't like to sit there and, record yourself, then go live. Try that out. See how that works for you. I promise you will love it. But let them see your face. Let them see your enthusiasm, through those videos for sure. The next thing I want to talk about is business information. Do make sure, this is really big. Don't assume that your team is getting this information from the bigger team pages. Now, we all know that they are. We all know that our uplines are absolutely amazing, and they get all of the information out there that we need. But the thing that we want to remember is, at the end of the day, it is our responsibility to our downlines to get information to them. We have to assume that ours is the only page that they're going to tune into. And so if you see Andrea post a Zoom call, or you see Ellen, or you see any of your other uplines post a Zoom call that you think is important for them to be in on, put it on your team page. So make sure that you close that gap between what you see they need and actually what you're giving them. So make sure you give them all the information they need as if your page is the only one that they see. And that is, training information, that is comp plan, that is, everything that they need to run a successful business. Make sure that information is on there. And, you've probably at this point uploaded a lot of files. So you can always, put a post about the comp plan and say, hey, go to our files and check out the, whatever file you put up there. That way it kind of trains them as well to locate these files rather than spoon feeding them everything, which is not a bad thing, but we do want to kind of teach them to look for things themselves. So that's kind of a good idea. Training. Okay, so as far as training, again, this goes hand in hand with what I kind of just said. Don't wait on your upline to train them. Okay, don't wait for, Andrea, Julia, I keep using them, but don't wait for them to post a Zoom call and train your team, as you have to get the words out there. As you can see right here on one of these slides, Rebecca has done a Pink Tribe boot camp. Now, that is a boot camp that is special to our team. And it's very, it's very unique to our team. And so that's a really good thing for them to see is, again, hey, we have taken all this information that we've been given and we've specialized this to you guys. We're putting this information out to our team only. Of course, we'll share with anybody, but that's where they can feel like, hey, this is for me. I know this is for me. I'm going to watch it and let me see. I know that they wouldn't put anything on here that I didn't need. So training is definitely an awesome tool for this team page. So make sure you use it. Okay. the next thing in training that I want to talk to you about is encouraging leadership on your team. And I really, really think this is big. Pick out a leader from your downline. And, let's say you have 5. Pick out one person, maybe per week, maybe per month if you want to do this, and give them a task to do on your team page. Hey, so-and-so, you made a really, really good post today, and I really love your post. Will you maybe make a video on my team page and talk to people about posting? I actually did that. Jennifer Maddox is on my team, and she just literally has the best post I've ever seen. And so I just called her up one day, and she was relatively new to our team page, and I said, Jen, hey, will you please make a video and post it on our team page? And she was kind of like, yeah, of course I will. And, that not only helped my team kind of diversify what they were hearing, but it also gave Jen a sense of, all right, I can do this. I'm about to step up and lead a little bit. So it also encourages leadership, which is really huge, again, if you're wanting to develop that team. So reach down and ask people to do things like this for you. I think you'll really see, some leaders step up in this avenue for sure. Okay, and the last thing about maintaining the team page that I want to talk to you about is encouraging team participation. If you can see, let's see, I put right here, I wanted to show you this video that I made about an exciting week ahead. The reason I put it on here to draw this attention to the 141 views. I consider that a big thing when 141 people are looking at it, because we don't always get, that many likes or anything. But, you want to encourage people to, draw attention to your post, if you will. So make sure that you are welcoming your new ambassadors, that your teams know to welcome new ambassadors, and do things like this graphic right here that says, hey, Amanda made her first post. It's a great one. Let's go show her some tribe love. Just little things like that, to where your team's like, okay, we're one big, family community. We can, we're in this together. Anything that kind of promotes unity like that not only does your teammates know that, that you have their back, but also they kind of use each other collectively, and then they'll go post and kind of share. It's a really good thing once you have the unity on your team page. And if you can get that, I'm telling you, it's a special, special thing. So things like this are going to accomplish that, because now I'm sure Amanda remembers or will remember everybody commenting on her first post. And so then she's going to share that information when she sees someone else make a first post. So that is pretty important. But ultimately, guys, make sure that your team knows that this is their team page as well. Make sure they feel comfortable posting. Make sure they feel comfortable asking questions, and ultimately know that it is their team page. And so in closing, I want to talk to you about 2 more things, and then I'm almost done. I know I've talked to you a lot here. Okay, set to administration approval. Oh, this is huge, 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 huge. Okay, you want to make sure that you approve everything that's posted on the team page. And I know that for some, I just got finished saying you want them to feel like it's their page. But we really don't want negativity on our team page. Y'all, it could take one negative post for, people that are halfway in this and they're almost ready to go, and then they see that negative post and it's like, okay, I'm done. So we really want to approve everything. And if you, if you're approving these and you see anything in question, delete it and send that person a message. I can remember early on when I started out, I posted on Julia's team page, Julia Cartier's team page, and I said, hey, does anybody know anything about, and I mentioned another MLM company, and I said, just trying to compare and contrast or whatever. And she just messaged me really quickly, and she said, hey, Brooke, just want to let you know that I went ahead and deleted your post. I really don't want to open up a can of worms with other MLMs to where people could possibly negatively bash that company. And, I totally understood that, and I respected that. And, I would have much rather it went down like it did instead of me putting it out there and then her seeing these negative comments and have to delete it. So just make sure that you're proactive about the information that is going out on your team page, and you can do that by setting it to administration approval. That is huge. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to talk to you about is something very special to me, and that is actually the option of sharing a team page. Rebecca Williams and I decided about 3 or 4 months ago that we were going to share our team page. I had the Pink Drink Babes and Bows. She had Rebecca's Rock Stars. And we were really just finding ourselves kind of, posting the same thing. And that really put, 2 pages between my people and Julia's people, 3 pages between mine and Angie's people. And, we just said, hey, let's just try this. Let's just see how it happens. Okay, this is a really, really great option if you and your upline or the person you're wanting to share with complement each other. And Rebecca and I greatly complement each other. We bring 2 separate things to the table. We never step on each other's toes because we're so different in our leadership. She can completely relate to half of the team, and I can completely relate to the other half of the team. And it really works beautifully when people are commenting on different issues and, without us even having to say anything to each other, we're like, I've got this, and so I take what my strong suit is and she takes what her strong suit is. So it really, really works well for us. It may not work for everybody because you do have to consider contests and things like that. Everybody on our team page is not under me. So we really do you have to consider things like that. But I did want to mention that just because it has worked so well for us, that could be an option. And please, if you want more information on sharing your team page, please either message myself or Rebecca, and we would be more than happy to talk to you about the pros and cons and kind of hear your situation and see if it's right for you. And, that's it. That's all I have for tonight. In closing, I really just wanted to say that your team page should wholeheartedly be a reflection of you. Don't try to change yourself. Guys, these people signed up under you for a reason. They want to see your personality. They want to see you come out in all of these avenues on your team page. So that's it. That's all I have. So if I will open this up to any questions, if y'all might have any for me that I could answer. If you do have any questions, why don't you just unmute yourself? That way it'll kind of help. So I don't have to unmute everybody. Let's see, I'll kind of go through the questions if anyone hasn't. Apps to dress up. Yes, Word Swag is a great one. I love Word Swag. Pic Collage is a really good one. So those are really good apps. Rona, I've heard that's a really good one too. In fact, Julia uses that one. I wanted to start. Okay, what else? Does anybody have any questions and want to unmute yourself for me?
I have a question real quick. When you were talking about sharing your team page with somebody else, are you talking about like a sideline or somebody like in your downline, or what were you talking about there?
Yes, I was specifically talking about sharing your team page with a downline member, specifically directly under you or directly above you. I think that's why it works. I am Rebecca's level 1, and so that's why it has worked so well, for us. But I would say, we are one Plexus. Don't be afraid to add sidelines to your team page. If they're wanting to kind of get some inside input from you. It also is a good thing for you to do. If you kind of have a sideline partner, y'all can kind of join each other's team page and you can get some really, really good ideas there.
Okay, yeah, that answered my question because there's a group of us, Jen Wolf, I think she's on the call tonight. There's about 4 of us that we kind of team together, sidelines that we team together and do some of our training calls together and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we're all like on each other's page and stuff for that reason. So that's why I was asking about doing a sideline or a downline. So yes. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'll pipe in there. I think it's great to team up the way that Brooke and Rebecca have done, upline, downline as a team page. If you want to be a voyeur or kind of share kind of team videos or things like that with a sideline, I think that's great, but I wouldn't team up and do a team page together. I would just, so Leslie, Andrew, and Julia Carty are a great example. I think if you're on both of those pages, you see a lot of the same stuff because they actually share each other's stuff on the other person's team page. So they are great sidelines. They have literally grown their team pages together, but they aren't a combined page. They're separate teams totally. So just make sure when you're doing that, you can watch each other's team page if you're a sideline. But if you're an upline, downline, and I think another thing that's worked really well for Brooke and Rebecca is they grew at the same time. So it really pushed them together at the same time, which is hard if you're really wide. It would be hard to pick one person. But for Brooke and Rebecca, it worked really well. So just make sure, you might want to talk to your upline as well and just make sure that it works really well before you combine team pages with someone. Becky and Rachel do the exact same thing with with their team page. So it works some places, it doesn't work others. So I just want to make sure.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, again, please private message me if you have any questions or comments or want any information from tonight. I will be definitely happy to share that with you. So thank you all for coming.